Hey people, this is my sister Laura.
Hey, this is my sister Jean. We're the Reclamation Sisters, and today we're going to talk about mental health during this pandemic.
What do you know? How do you feel?
So, I feel totally fine. I'm going to be honest. Legit nothing. I feel absolutely the same in my life. I have noticed on social media there are so many accounts, I think, that started just since
because of this.
Yeah, because of it, checking in on mental health, and there's just constant quotes about mental health and doctors coming out of the woodwork, and get the stats. You posted something about the 30% increase in
overdoses and uses.
So, why is that?
Well, so I think you have to look at the idea that addiction grows in isolation. And so when we have created an atmosphere where we started getting people well, and then all of a sudden they were removed from the relationship. So I am the drug court coordinator for the county that I work in, and a lot of what we're seeing is from the pandemic. They have no responsibility to check in or be around their people that monitor them for legal consequences. The jails have let out people. There's no one going into homes and things because of social distancing. The guidelines are different. They're not being drug tested the same way. Telehealth is very helpful, but it's not that person-to-person intimate rapport. We were doing telehealth for substance abuse counseling. There was no drug testing, and people were isolated. And so when you isolate, you have no control about what's going on in the outside world, and the fear-mongering and the and uncertainty and limitations of being around those that support you or love you. Churches were closed. NA meetings were closed. AA meetings were closed. We keep talking in our videos about how the one thing that lets people heal is connection. And having empathy. When other people are being disconnected from everything that they know, they're less likely to provide support or understand your disconnection issues. So it creates a whole hodgepodge, chaos, whirlwind of destruction that most people aren't prepared for. Telehealth is a godsend. It allows people to go in and connect and have conversation. And most people with any type of insurance can get that. And there's also apps that have like peers or therapists that you can chat with outside of an agency. And there's also websites like we've talked about before, intherooms.com, where you can tell people you're struggling, like your pants are on fire, it's a crisis point where you want to cause harm to yourself, overdose, cause harm to another person, and have conversations with people in your community or across the world. I think it allowed us to really look at what was important, and that's uncomfortable. People don't like to look at they were living outside their means, or that they were living in a relationship that's not safe, because what we saw was an increase in domestic violence and no way for people to get out. For different people, it created different situations. In the substance abuse world, it's created an escalation of people using any drug or an increase in drinking. We have people really struggling with needs for detox since from February, March, April. Detox needs escalated. Overdose rates went to over 30% increase. People are mixing drugs. They're mixing medication with street drugs. They're taking things they believe to be their drug of choice, but it's not, because the pandemic has closed down avenues to traffic drugs. So we've really created an unsafe space for people struggling. So we just want to make sure that you understand that there are people out there. Your insurance has telehealth. Your local agency can have telehealth. intherooms.com has telehealth. 12 Cups is another app you can join, and just reach out and have a conversation, or pick up the phone and just touch base with the people you love. It's important that we understand that people who have mental health or in our domestic violence situation or are struggling with addiction are really put in a place where they need support. So if you are a person of support in someone's life, make sure you're reaching out, even as we move through different phases of this, and just touch base. I mean, don't you feel like you talk to people more? No. I do. I talk to people more on the phone, just to make sure, like, hey, what's up? Or, messenger or chat or whatever application you use to communicate. But just know that you aren't alone in all of this. Hoping you're all well during this and enjoying beautiful fall weather.
Yeah. Happy pandemic.
Happy pandemic, everyone. See you next time.
All right, you're on.
Yeah, we're on.
Rolling.
Carol Baskin. You're rolling.
Okay.
They see me rolling.
So,
They hating. This is my sister Laura.
hey, ooh, there's a bee. Okay.
He's like, I'm here. Look at him with his Tom Cruise hair.